I Baruch Ebe Ha'isa, our Creator, El Shaddai, for giving me this opportunity once again to be able to share His word with you. And remember in the last video I spoke upon on tribulation. Now I'm going to speak upon types of tribulation. But before we continue, please let us pray, because it is a very important subject, and it's a sensitive one, and it's one of the mysteries of the Torah that has been exposed to you. So I pray that the Ruach HaKodesh would interpret this message to you in a way you will understand. I pray that the message, that the information, the people that this information is meant for, that it gets to them, and that they are able, with the information here, to understand what is going on with their lives, and to be able to have hope and be rest assured in the assurance and in the promises of our Abba. I also pray that wherever you are going through your tribulations, that you have shalom, and that you feel the warm embrace of the Creator enveloping you, and reassurance that He's with you and He will see you through your tribulation. Now we can continue. So, types of tribulation. One of the types of tribulation we have is tribulation of love. Now, this is a tribulation that two people that are in love, they go through together. You've watched movies, most especially these African movies, or if you watch these Chinese traditional movies, there you see two people that it has been destined for them to be together. They love each other, and then you see that two of them have to go through tribulation, fierce tribulation. Finally, when they succeed, that is when now they can now be together and live happily. So now there are forces that are assigned for that, and it's just to show like a test of perseverance, test of their love, test of their faith, most especially in the Creator. For example, now if you believe, for example, that the Almighty has given you this person as your spouse or as your companion, now if you really trust Him, those tribulations are going to come. So are you going to doubt Him or think or believe that He has given you something evil? That is what the tribulation of love is all about. It's actually to test your faith in your Creator and to know how much you love and you trust Him. So that is it. But all these tribulations, no matter how I explain them, you really need the strength of the Most High to really go through each of them, because it is actually trying mentally, physically, and exhausting. It's that fierce. So you cannot actually rely on your own strength to go through them. You really need the strength of the Creator, of our Creator. So number 2, tribulation of unrequited love. Everyone must go through the 7 tribulations. So take note of it. And then you will now understand yourself which level you are or what are you currently going through. Please, this tribulation I'm referring to is not trials and trouble that come to those that disobey the Torah. That is different from the tribulation that everyone must go through, both righteous and unrighteous. Now, there are some people that are suffering for the consequences of disobedience plus this tribulation. So that's why you start wondering, why are some people's own suffer more fiercer than the others and things like that. So it depends on the person's spiritual standing, and it depends also in the person's spiritual level. The spiritual level will determine the type of tribulation one goes through. So the tribulation of unrequited love. This is the tribulation of that an individual go through when his or her love is not reciprocated. I don't know if you've come across cases or you've heard cases or you've experienced yourself. I love this person. I wish I could be with this person. But the reality and the society, you say, but I cannot because of society standing. I know my parents will not accept for me to be with this person or to marry this person because of class or society. So that love you love for the person is not requited. You cannot be with the person. You cannot express, both of you cannot express love to each other because of certain factors surrounding you. That is one part. There's another part. You love someone, but you know that that person doesn't love you. And you're trying to win that person's love. But no matter what you do, the person cannot reciprocate the love. The person just don't love you. No matter what you do, the person don't love you. That is another aspect of unrequited love. Now, what is the aim of all these tribulations that we go through? Is to purify us, to cleanse us, to make us to become gold. That is the main aim of the tribulation. Now, there are certain factors that will be watched out, that will be looked out in your life while you're going through this tribulation. Number one, they will check, are you having resentment in your heart? Now, for example, in this tribulation of unrequited love, they'll check to see, at the end of the day, do you end up hating that person that could not love you back? Or you just took it as it is and still remained yourself? Did you allow what you go through in the tribulation to change you to become evil? Or it increased your strength and your faith in your Creator? These are the factors and criteria you are looking at, the heavenly tribunal looks at, and they use it in marking the person, to scoring the person, to ascertain whether the person is going through the tribulation properly, or is succeeding in the tribulation, or the person is not succeeding. I want you to know that at any point in time, the tribulation is getting too tough for you. It's going to be paused. And then you'll be allowed to rest for a period of time. And then it comes back again. As you keep going, if you're giving up again, they will pause it. And then you'll give you a rest. And then it comes back again until you're able to overcome it. That is it. That's why some people go through their tribulation for years. Some people can be going through one for 7 years. Now, that's why I say they look at your attitude in the time of your tribulation. If your attitude, you end up being angry at your Creator, you end up being angry at people around you, end up being angry at the society, and start changing yourself to things that the Torah don't want, then that means you failed in the tribulation. The next one is tribulation of sickness. This is the tribulation of always being sick. There will be a period of time in your life that you see that you might be having a certain form of affliction. It could be always having stomach pain, stomach ache. It could be headaches. It could be recurrent yeast infection. It could be one thing or the other. It's tribulation of sickness. It could be fever for those that are in Western Africa, and then other, it depends on your area, the diseases that are available in your area. So it could be one thing or the other that is just recurrent. It's tribulation of sickness. Now in that sickness, do you see El Shaddai Rapha, your healer, and do you believe that he has healed you and you are not supposed to be carrying it? The moment you believe and you understand that your Creator is there to heal you, and he has already healed you, he has already put everything for your healing in your DNA. So you just speak to your body and say, this body, this Mishkan, has been created for my El, to worship him, and not for sickness, not for disease. Once you start speaking such words of faith to your body, start taking authority and control over that situation, you see at the end of the day that sickness is going to go. That's one. Now, tribulation of death. This is the experience of death. Everyone will definitely go through this tribulation of death. Now, if you succeed the first time you died, the person died, the person will be brought back to life. Now, some people will go through this tribulation of death more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. It depends on the person. It depends on your attitude when the person was experiencing death at that point in time. It depends on the person's thoughts. That will determine at that point if this person that has died now should reincarnate, should not come back to life immediately, or the person should be given a second and a third chance. It all depends on the individual. The Almighty knows the details of such. The next one is tribulation of hunger or lack. Now, that tribulation of hunger and lack, if during that time you are having that your hunger and lack, for example, you don't get angry with your Creator and say, but I'm obeying you, why should I do that? Job went through this. Job went through this, and he didn't curse El in any way. Even his wife asked him and said, just curse El and die. What is your life? But if you remind yourself and say, I know my Redeemer lives, and you stand on the verse, for example, let me just give you one. Job chapter 5, verse 20. In scarcity of food, he shall redeem you from death, and in battle from the power of the sword. Now let's go down to 22. At destruction and at starvation, you laugh, and you have no fear of the beasts of the earth. You stand on this word and say, no, I will not die of hunger. My family will not die of hunger. My Creator did not ordain for us to die this way. I continue standing, continue speaking a promise, continue believing it. It's going to pull you through it. And you are going to have sufficient. You're going to have excess, what they call overflow of beraka, of food, of everything that you need after you succeed through this tribulation. Remember, whatever tribulation you're going through, it's all about your attitude during that tribulation. For example, the first time maybe you experience hunger or lack in your life, if you got angry, you reacted badly, it will pause. To allow you to have something. You have some beraka, 1-2 months. You'll try again to bring it again. To see how you're going. You get angry, you react badly, they'll pause it. They'll keep bringing it until you pass it. You can't go to the next level without passing that level. Just like if you're in school or in university, you can't go to level 200 if you've not graduated from level 100. Neither can you start doing your master's or doctorate degree when you've not yet done your basic, your first degree. That is how it is. And that is why I want you to be patient in tribulation. It's written there in the New Testament, be patient in tribulation, long suffering, be patient, having hope, having faith. But at the same time, knowing that you have dominion and authority over the situation that you're currently experiencing. Now, the number 6 is tribulation of desire/obsession. If you get this tribulation is desire. For example, now when you start having beraka, what's your desire? To buy this, buy that, acquire this, buy that. If you keep purchasing like that, that means you failed in that tribulation. You are going to be given plenty again until you overcome this tribulation before you be taken to the next level. You have to be able to control your desire or obsession. There are some people, once they get their millions, they become obsessed with Mercedes-Benz cars. Let me give it as an example. Every 6 months, they buy the latest brand of Mercedes-Benz. That's now obsession. So, and now, the tribulation, what's the aim of this tribulation? Is to see if you can scale through without having an obsession. This way you have plenty. Then they want to see how you can control your desires and obsession. Some men, they become obsessed with having women. They multiply women for themselves. They are married, but they still have concubines outside. That is it. Now, this one is the most dangerous in the sense that if you don't scale through this particular one, desire and obsession, there's a demon that is going to possess that person, and the person will be damned for life. Meaning damned to Gehinnom, doomed to Gehinnom. Because the person will not want to let go of that obsession. Some people's obsession towards a man, or a man obsessing towards a woman, he can never have. It's very, very important that any tribulation that you come through in your life, that you experience in your life, go through it with joy and thanksgiving, knowing that your Redeemer lives and that his plans for you, according to the book of Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, are plans to baruch you, not to cause you evil, to give you a hope and a future. Once you know that, then, and you stand on that, and you don't allow the enemy to bombard you with evil thoughts here and there, you're going to see that you're going to rejoice at last. Because remember, weeping only endures for a night, but joy definitely comes in the morning. Now, the last but not the least, the 7th tribulation, tribulation of cutting off from your family. That one, everybody must go through it. If you can't go through it, you're stuck. You cannot achieve what the Creator has created you to achieve in life. Abraham went through it. At the time, El Shaddai asked him, leave your father's house, leave your people and go to the land that I am calling you to inherit. Jacob, even though his parents were pious, Torah observers, he still had to leave them to go to Laban to gain experience and to have one-on-one time with the Creator. Moshe had to leave Egypt, Mitzrayim, to go to the wilderness. Everyone must leave his father's house and forget his father's house at one point in your time and focus on your El Shaddai and do what he has called you to do. I want to tell you this. Your mission is unique to you. The only thing El Shaddai has put in place is he has put Nabi and Nabiya, prophets and prophetesses to lead and guide in your mission. But your family will definitely not assist you. And that's why it's very important to cut off. Whether they are Torah observers or not. But more so when they are not Torah observers. When they are Torah observers, once they've taught you everything you need to know about the Torah, then you need a higher teaching. El Shaddai will ask you to cut off from there. Because without that, you cannot achieve what He's created you for. There is no child of El Shaddai that stayed and remained in his father's house, grew up in his father's house, married his father's house, and achieved what El Shaddai has asked him or have prepared him or her to achieve. Now turn with me to the book of Micah chapter 7 verse 6 so that you can see and then you can understand. Here, see what it says. Chapter 7 verse 6. He said, for son, let me read from verse 5. He said, trust no friend. Rely on no companion. Okay? What is that? That's your spouse. Your spouse that is not on the same mission with you. Your spouse that don't follow the Torah with you. Don't rely on him or her. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. He's talking to both male and female. Shut your lips. You can't see your spouse. He's not a Torah observer. Don't overstand what you've been called for. And you're telling him your mission and the message that the Almighty has given to you. That is use your own hand to dig your own grave. He said, for son is despising the mother. Let me read the last one. He said, the enemies of a man are the men of his own house. Let me read it again. Verse 6. For son is despising father, daughter rises against her mother, daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. The enemies of a man are the men of his own house. So I want you to understand where the book of Matthew took it from, where they say JC said the enemies of a man are those of his household. Everything you see in the New Testament has been taken from the Torah, has been lifted from the Torah. So don't be confused. It's just that they miss it with a lot of things that are false. That you need the help of the Ruach to discern the truth from the false. But this is correct. This is what Micah prophesied. He said the enemies of a man are the men of his own house. Who are killing people today? Is husband killing women? Or women killing men? Or stepchildren killing stepmother? Or stepfather? And things like that. Or daughter-in-law and things like that. And that is why it's very important. Even if your house, even if your family is a Torah observer, when you begin to do what El Shaddai has called you to do, there will arise jealousy. There's going to arise envy and hatred. You can't escape from it. And they want to cut short your plan or purpose for existence on earth. And that is why it's very necessary. At a point in time, cut off. I pray that this word baruch you, and I pray once again for people going through tribulations all over the world, that they have shalom in their tribulation. They have hope. Those that are suffering because of the consequences of their disobedience, I pray for you that you realize your mistake quickly and start to take action now, immediately. Whatever it is, start to take action and obey the Torah. Take a step forward, make a step and start. And you see things are going to get better. And for those that are going through this tribulation in their righteousness, I want to let you know this. That weeping endures, may endure for the night. Not all weeping endures even for the night. But joy will definitely come in the morning. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. your Redeemer is alive.